People who've been caught in those "I swear it isn't what it looks like" scenarios. What were you doing? And what did it look? Handed my passport to the Canadian border officer when driving to Canada. Sir, why are you giving me money with your passport? Apparently I had kept about €100 folded in my passport for my next trip. A somewhat related story. A friend of mine used to keep a spare $100 in between the back of his license and the laminate layer. Back when licenses were printed on paper then laminated. He got pulled over for a really bad speeding offense that probably would have been reckless and nervously handed over the license without thinking about it and got off with a warning. A bit later he checked on it and the $100 was gone, so he unwittingly but successfully bribed his way out of a ticket. I drove a co-worker / next door neighbor to and from work every day. One evening we were sitting in the driveway and we were hugging in the car and my wife stepped out and saw us. What were we doing? Hugging tightly. Why? Her boyfriend called her while we were driving home and told her that her dog was hit and killed by a car. I was just consoling her. How I divorced your mother. Hugging doesn't usually involve hikes, John. Back in the late 90s I was working for a local newspaper doing pretty much any gig the editor / publisher didn't want to do herself. We were asked to do an ad for the new spa in town and they wanted a picture of someone getting a facial. My naivety about porn terms led me to click on a website that lists itself as having hundreds of facial pics, just as my boss was walking in. I was just researching the thing I was going to do for you. You'll love it. In school, we had this cool pagan biology teacher who tried new things while teaching. One of these things was bringing a video cam to a pair session to film us so we could watch our form from an outside perspective and analyze with the class. We were doing handball I think. I was either sick or forgot my clothes, so I was sitting out on that class. Teach gave me the cam to record while he instructed my fellow students on throwing techniques. I was fumbling my way around the camera, fiddling with the zoom buttons and trying to get a hang of things. When I felt like I knew what I was doing, I started recording my fellow students. Later, we got together in a classroom and Teach showed the video I took without screening it beforehand. Big mistake. The first few moments showed me playing with the zoom. Unfortunately, I had been focused on the camera and not on what I was recording, so I had unintentionally zoomed in on my teacher's butt. I had filmed a 10-second close-up on my teacher's, admittedly formidable, behind and it looked totally intentional on my part. My whole class laughed at me and my teacher gave me a funny look. Meanwhile I was blubbering about how it totally wasn't what it looked like, that I was playing with the zoom button and more irrelevant things that nobody cared about. Similar story, had to do a video advertisement for a fake product for an English class. Had a friend come over to do the talking and we shot it under the carport near the garage window. We shoot it real quick and come inside. Dad comes by and says he needs to watch it in a very serious tone. I was mad because I couldn't possibly have done something to make him upset by doing homework. I had been so focused on my friend that I missed that my dad was walking past the window in his underpants while we were recording. He saved us both some embarrassment that day and my friend had a good laugh.